Hi, everybody. Ted Jordan here with Professional Acting for the Long Haul. This week, we're going to talk about a couple of things. One, on-set etiquette. What you should do, what you shouldn't do, maybe what you should be talking about and not talking about. Also, we're going to talk about as you move into the realm of independent filmmaking, what that really means for you, and certain criteria, certain things they're going to be asking of you, like deferred payment. You might have heard of that terminology before, volunteer as an actor, or a daily rate. And we're going to go over those three things as well. So a total of four. Let's talk about on-set etiquette. What you should be talking about, what you shouldn't be talking about. And again, I always like to use examples from my own experience, and that way you can relate, hopefully. Now, here we go. Now, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was hired on to do a project, and it was for an industrial film for firefighters. And I had the fortunate thing of meeting an old student who had been one of my students at John Robert Powers. And a nice guy, very ambitious, very outgoing, and extremely boisterous. So he's talking about his days at JRP and how things didn't go well and so on and so forth. Now, we're not on set, we're actually in the green room, and along with some other actors in the room and one of the producers in the room. So one of the producers is talking to another actor about something, and this young man is talking to me about, the days of woe at JRP and how he spent all these thousands of dollars and he got nothing, for his time. He really didn't get what he paid for, and he put in his last money. That's why it's very important that you understand who you get trained by. Extremely important. Okay, now, going back to this. He was going on and on and on about his frustrations and how he's, pretty much still upset about how things didn't work out. And I guess that corresponds to him seeing me, since he hadn't seen me in a while, and it just brought it up again, I guess. So he was going on and on about this, and continuing to go on, so much so that he was extremely loud. I tried to gesture to him to kind of, pipe down with that and kind of chill out, because the producer was actually talking to somebody else in reference to something along the lines of the project, I guess, or whatever their conversation was. So I didn't want him interrupting what he was saying to that other actor. So he did for a few seconds, and then he just kept ramping it up. And after a while, the producer had to ask him to just kind of hold it down and be quiet, because he was too loud. Again, you want to self-govern yourself when you do these kind of things, and be careful about what you talk about. Look, when actors get on the set, we talk about all kinds of things. We talk about shop. We talk about what's going on in the industry, what projects we're working on. We talk about all kinds of stuff. But be careful about what you're talking about and who's in the room. You always have to be careful who's in the room, because you don't always know who's in the room. They may look just like you, but they could be a network producer. They could be a producer of that particular project. They could be the director. You don't always know who everybody is. So be very careful in reference to that. All right, next, let's talk about the three things you're probably thinking about in moving into the indie film arena. So if you're talking about doing independent film, and again, it's a very interesting thing doing independent film. As an independent filmmaker and as an actor, I can give you both sides of it. And it's a difficult thing, because you're stepping off in faith and you have to wear a lot of hats, and you're relying on other people to help you make this vision come to pass. So you as the actor, you need to keep that in mind as you're going along with this project. You're just one part of this huge wheel, of this huge pie. So keep that in mind. It's not just about your lines and your marks. It's about how well are you fitting in to the vision of the producer, the writer, and director. And make sure that you're doing everything you can to help make their vision come true. Okay? So your part is very important, but it's just one part. Now, let's talk about those three other things we were talking about. We're talking about deferred payment. What is that? Deferred payment means that the production company is looking to pay you sometime in the future. Maybe. It's a big maybe. And I'll give you another example from my experience. I shot a film about 9 years ago. and they offered deferred payment to me. Now, I negotiated terms of, okay, I'll do deferred payment, but I want to be paid off of the gross of what you make. And so far, I haven't been paid anything. So pretty much I worked on that project as a volunteer. Now, that's a gamble that you take. I got some footage from it. I networked and I met some really cool people, but I'm still waiting to get paid. So if you decide to go, and this is non-union, by the way, so union deferred payment is completely different. I don't know all the ins and outs about that, so you want to check into that as well. This is non-union. So I'm still waiting to get paid for it and haven't gotten paid for it. So will I do any more deferred payment? Probably not. If I'm going to do a project and help somebody else by volunteering because they've helped us, or it seems like a pretty good project and I don't have to travel real far to go, to be a part of it, I probably will do that. But the more we do with our own projects, it gets more and more difficult. I was trying to explain that to a lady who reached out to us and wanted our help, and she was telling us that she has no budget and so on and so forth. And I had to explain to her that we're producing 2 different series, and I'm writing, and I have a family, and I have, other things that I have to do, and I now have to be very careful about how I utilize my time. So that being said, you also have to utilize your time very wisely. So as the actor, if you want to go deferred payment, understand that you may not ever get paid. You have to be okay with that. As a volunteer, for sure you're not going to get paid. And as a day player, or you're going for a daily rate, we want to talk about daily rate. So whatever that daily rate is, and I would use the union's rates as far as your negotiating tool and how to negotiate that. Now again, you have to be very careful because independent filmmaking can be very tricky. You don't know what their budgets are, you don't know what they have allocated for the actors and so on and so forth. So again, you don't want to be a jerk about it, but you want to be wise in how you handle your business. The union standard is pretty good, and I use it a lot in my business. So do it. Check it out. Get the information you're going to need. So again, deferred payment, if you want to do that, understand you're working as a volunteer until you get paid, if you get paid. Now, as a volunteer, you're working for free. You're not getting paid at all. Again, if you're getting into this thing for the first time and you want to get a resume built and you want to build your demo reel, it's a good way to do that, okay? And again, daily rate. What do you get paid on a daily basis for 12 hours, based on 12 hours? Remember what I said last time. You shouldn't be on anybody's set any longer than 12 hours. Again, it's a nightmare, and it means they're not having their act together if they can't get everything done that they're looking to do on a daily basis in a 12-hour period. That is the union standard if you were to go union, and if it's over that 12 hours, then there's overtime. So again, you want to make sure that you're using your time wisely in reference to that. And don't forget, handle yourself accordingly on set. Make sure you're treating everybody else the way you want to be treated. Make sure you're doing that, okay? Because you don't want to get into trouble on that, and you want to be aware of who is around you. And again, we all talk shop, and we all talk noise, and we like to, share back and forth with what's going on within the industry with us and everybody else. And that's natural. But again, be professional, okay? Now, I hope this has been a help to you. And if you have any questions, by all means, give us a shout at Professional Acting for the Long Haul at yahoo.com. Check me out on my IMDb page because I have one of those. You can also check us out at crossingjordanentertainment.studio. That's our website. And again, if you have any questions, whatever it is, go ahead and ask it. If you don't like what we're doing, hey, send that too, because we can always better our production because we're always looking to do that, okay? Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.